Welcome to another episode of All Things Possible, the podcast where we explore the endless possibilities and celebrate untold stories happening right in your very own community. I'm your host, DeAndre Lampkin. Yep, today I get a turn to interview our next guest. In this episode, we're diving into the City of Ontario State of the City Address, where we caught up with my good friend Christian Garcia. This annual event showcases the amazing progress the city has made and what's in store for the future. In this episode, we explore the exciting happenings in the City of Ontario, the shining jewel of the Inland Empire. It's an annual celebration where the community comes together to toast to investment, safety, innovation, community life, and opportunity. It's a true testament to all things possible when a community comes together. Get ready to raise your glasses as we celebrate progress and vision for the City of Ontario. Grab a seat, kick back, and join us as we discover why Ontario is truly the premier community of the Inland Empire. Let's get started.
We're here live at the State of the City for 2024, and today we decided to do our podcast, All Things Possible, right here live. And today we're here with Christian Garcia. Christian Garcia is a local community member who I've come to know over the years. I consider him a friend, and he's somebody who is definitely engaged in the community. And so I thought his story was important for you to hear today because he just embodies all things that are possible, especially when it comes to civic engagement and to public service in general. Christian, good to see you.
Yeah, good
nice
to
have
see you, Andre. Always nice to catch up with a friend.
Yeah, so how are you liking the State of the City?
You know, it's always inspiring to hear the plans, but then as you go multiple years, you get to see them coming into fruition. So it's not just talk, you see them actually happening. So that's part of the exciting thing about working and living in Ontario.
For our listeners who don't know, the State of the City is done every year.
Right.
And this is my fourth year attending. And the program is pretty simple, right?
Right.
We go through the reception.
We hear the mayor tell some jokes.
Right.
You see a really well done video.
You forgot the most important part though. We go and we get a couple of drinks first
to
get ready for the mayor's jokes. Then we get a video montage.
Yes.
And then we get to come into this beautiful reception place and network
and build relationships, which is what it's all about here.
It's almost like a class reunion every year.
It is.
We see some of the people here only once a year, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was a pretty cool thing about it. And then the other thing too is when we see the video, we can see the different things that people have worked on, and then meet the individuals who have worked on that.
Very true.
So that's what makes this event pretty special. But I like it. I have a good time every year.
I always have a blast. It's always good seeing people, and our community grows because when you first come, you're getting to meet people. But then, like you said, the years you come back, you're seeing people again that you know, and seeing progress happen.
Exactly. Yeah. And one of the things that I like about doing this particular recording here at the State of the City is that we get a chance to see what is possible, right, for our city. So what does that mean to you? Like, after seeing the presentations, how do you feel about what's possible here in Ontario?
Well, it's amazing because we live in Southern California, so we're close to Los Angeles, and I think Los Angeles can sometimes be the city of broken dreams, where people move from other places and find that they can't afford housing, that they can't find work, but yet when they come to Ontario, families that work hard can still buy a house, they can still walk to a local coffee shop, they could still start a business, and they can send their kids to clean schools and have green parks. So in some ways, the dream that used to be in Los Angeles is happening in many of the suburbs. So you find people here from Orange County, from Los Angeles, that are living the American dream in ways they can't in some of the urban cities here in Southern California.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the explanation of that because what we've seen over the years is kind of what Ontario is known for has definitely changed.
Right.
It used to be the place that people would stop at on the way to Las Vegas.
Right.
And then one of the things that people noted about Ontario, it smelled like cabbage, right, when you get on the 60 freeway. That's what everybody said. Oh, we're hitting the cows. We must be in Ontario.
You could smell when you came to Ontario.
and now it's not that, right?
No.
We actually consider it, I remember kind of the theme, right? So it moved from where the LA of the IE, and IE, for those of you who don't know, is the Inland Empire. And then it switched to, we are the crown jewel of the Inland Empire, right?
I think so.
The crown jewel. But now, and the mayor actually said this in his presentation today, that he wants the city to start being known as the premier city of the Inland Empire.
Right.
And so the names have definitely changed over time. And it's certainly a city that's becoming a place where people don't have to go to LA.
Right.
And the reason why is for several reasons. We have bus rapid transit that's coming in.
Right.
We have the Arena District now.
Yeah, the Arena District, which will kind of match LA Live kind of vibes. Mm-hmm. So they'll have a place where you can go for adult fun with your friends, and downtown's being transformed to be a more family-friendly district where you can go and then have after hours as well. But we're right there with the museum, and we just got our national accreditation, which is huge. Only 8 in San Bernardino County have that recognition, which means we can house, better exhibits, and we have the climate control of our collections. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot involved in the 4-year process. But to have a legitimate arts and culture center in our city without having to drive to Pasadena or LA, it's incredible.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and that was actually headed up by Councilmember Debbie Parada.
Right.
And I know she was working on that accreditation for 4 years.
Yeah, I was part of the team that helped draft the collection document. Yeah.
Because tell us about that. What is your role when it comes to the museum?
Well, now I'm on the board, board of commission, and there's 5 of us there, and we help as an advisory role. So there's an incredible staff and director that handle the day-to-day. But we represent the community to the museum and represent the museum to the community. So we become ambassadors in the community to let people know the museum's there, that it's high quality, that it's a whole experience, along with the arts district and the entrepreneurs in the arts district. We put on a quarterly art walk. So there's a lot to do. You don't have to go very far to experience high culture and arts and entertainment in our own city.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought up the Arts District, because we just had an opportunity in our video version of Sounds of the Community to interview Mia and Damian Mel.
Oh yeah, they're great.
And they're the owners of Houghton Palm.
And also they champion the Third Saturdays. It's a nonprofit, but it's a monthly event where you have the food trucks and the museums open up, and it's just a great
There's live
time.
music.
Yeah.
There's a barbecue there.
You can even get a tattoo.
Yeah, I know. You can get a tattoo too. I was surprised by that. And I promise I haven't gotten one yet. I haven't gotten one yet. If I did, I wouldn't tell you where I got it. But the Third Saturdays is actually in addition to what the city was already doing. And I think the art walk used to be quarterly, right?
Right, correct.
And now they're switching to Third Saturday, which is bringing in a whole new crowd.
Yeah, because there's consistency, which means momentum. And that's been driven by the businesses there. So that's the great thing you see is it's not just the city trying to do something, it's a partnership with the city empowering businesses to do things. So you have the museums, which is doing things quarterly, and then the business who thrive on constant community and business doing things monthly. So it's really building a momentum and a partnership between city, entrepreneurs, arts and culture, and it's this dance that brings a successful community together,
And so you brought up something that was very important. I'd like to know your thoughts on how important is it for the community to be involved in order to make sure that these Third Saturdays are successful?
Yeah, I mean, it's critical. We've seen businesses open downtown and not receive enough customers and then have to shut down. So a quality business doesn't exist without quality customers. So it's critical that when people in our community see a business that they like, to shop there, to make a decision instead of sending your dollars somewhere else, to sow into your own community, which benefits us because as homeowners, our property value goes up if we have quality businesses. It gives jobs for our students coming out of the high schools. And that's better for the environment because you're not driving as far. You could walk or ride your bike downtown and and then be home at a reasonable hour. So it's really important that we support our businesses, and they're quality businesses. So we're not talking about charity. We're talking about going to places that are amazing and sending our business to places that are going to continue to feed us back.
How long have you lived in Ontario?
So my family moved to Montclair, Ontario in 2000. So it's been almost 25 years. And my wife and I, when we got married in 2012, we bought our first house here in Ontario. So we've been here and raised our kids for the past 12 years.
And so when you were here for 25 years,
yeah.
when 25 years ago, when you saw the city as it sat at that time, did you ever see it going in the direction that it is going in now, and with all the new development, the Third Saturdays, the accreditation of the museum, the new development that's happening in downtown? Did you see it going in that direction?
No. My wife grew up here. She's only lived in Ontario her whole life. And it was always a place where people could live. It was quiet, but there wasn't a lot of arts and entertainment and business. The high-end element, the thing that you would go to when you want to go on a date and you drive to LA, or when you want some nightlife and you go to a different city. So the fact that we can have entertainment at the arena, soon we can have, Major League Baseball, that's incredible because we don't have to leave. We can stay in our city and have the best of both worlds. We can have the community, the family life, the quiet, the green parks, but also the high-end entertainment and culture that we had to drive for in the past. Never saw it.
The word that keeps coming up is culture, and it's almost like a lot of the things that we're doing here in the city of Ontario, or that's happening in the city of Ontario, has been a direct result of this effort to really push culture and create its own culture here, right here in the Inland Empire.
Right.
What do you credit that growth and development to? Who do you give that credit to?
I think it's a collaborative effort. You have entrepreneurial people in our city. Again, I was raised in a Hispanic home where my father started his own business. And I think the Hispanic culture is very entrepreneurial, but you have a mixture of people from different areas. And, Southern California is it's a salad bowl. I don't know what you want to call it. It's a melting pot for sure. But we also have a city council that's very supportive of it. They make the on-ramp easy, and we have a great staff in our city that works really hard. We just got ranked as one of the top cities to work in. And so we have the education system here, the school districts are on the rise. And so it has to be all those things. If it's only one of them, we don't have a successful community. So we have a drive that's natively happening from the people. We have a drive from the government that's supportive and not creating extra hindrances. And then we also have, just the businesses that are coming in and wanting to do well. So I think it takes the whole community to do that.
Yeah, no, it's in direct alignment with the foundation's goals, because we talk about how we're building stronger, more resilient communities together, where everybody is a stakeholder, and it's through grassroots efforts. It requires everybody's participation. So I'm glad you said that. And this is actually a prime example of how that happens. And I never thought in the 14 or 15 years I've been living in the city of Ontario that this would actually grow to the city that it is today. And you're right. I don't go to LA anymore. I don't see a need for it. I mean, everything is right here that we want. We have a nightlife. We have a art community. We have entertainment with our arena. They talked about several projects in the presentation earlier. Which one was your favorite, or which one are you most excited to see come to fruition?
Yeah, as a baseball fan, I have a certain affinity for the sports complex being built over on the south side. The idea of having a professional minor league baseball stadium with a hotel, with restaurants, with parks for the kids to play. So, I have kids that play soccer, and the idea of them playing right next to a professional stadium is inspiring. It gives them vision, So I'm really excited for that. I used to have season tickets for the Dodgers, and it was so hard to go. So the idea of being able to support an Ontario team and see Clayton Kershaws of the world go through stints in the minor leagues, that's really exciting. So,
one of the council members mentioned in the video presentation that this is going to be a place where you're going to see the next up-and-coming baseball athletes starting right here in Ontario.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be pretty cool. And then you talk about the village that they're creating too, where it's going to be almost like a 18-hour type facility where there's going to be shopping off-season. There's going to be all high-end hotel off-season. I mean, they're going to be on-season as well, but the most important thing is trying to create a space that's going to be used all year long and not just during the baseball season. So
when you look at cities that have done that successfully, I think of like Irvine is one of the ones that's done it well. People go there because of the parks. So like we had a national tournament for ASO. My kids are part of the nonprofit soccer organization called ASO, and we had a national tournament there last July. And it brings in tourism, and it brings in families from all over. People were there from Hawaii, and they came in to see the parks, but then they saw the city and the growth that's happening. And so I really think that what's going to take place is people who knew Ontario as something else are going to come in for these facilities and some of these things that are open invites, but they're going to see all the progress. They're going to see the growth. They're going to see the entertainment. They're going to see the culture, which is a word we use, and they're going to come back to visit and spend money and invest. And even say, hey, this is a great place to live and to buy and to plant roots, not just to visit. So we welcome both. We want visitors and tourists to come in and visit the Ontario Mills. I think it was the the most visited attraction in California last year. I think they had close to 100 million visitors. So yeah, more than Disneyland. Disneyland had, I think, 25 million. Yeah. And so people can come in and visit, or people can come and plant roots. It's a great city to be in.
And essentially you brought up Disneyland, because Ontario Mills actually gets more visitors per year than Disneyland.
Right, yeah.
So
almost 4 times as much.
Now we give them somewhere else to go.
Right.
We now know what is possible in this city.
Right.
Where do you see the city of Ontario going in the next 20 years?
I think what's really we're seeing happen before our eyes is we're being put on a national map. You know, when it's not just anymore like comparing ourselves to other cities in San Bernardino or even Southern California. Now we're saying one of the best cities to work in the country, one of the fastest growing planned communities in the country.
Top 5 in the nation.
Yeah. So now we're not just talking about our comparison in the county or the state, but now we're going to national level. So I think, you know, eventually you're going to look on a United States map and there's going to be a dot for Los Angeles and a dot for Ontario. We're literally being put on the map, you know, and I don't think you could have predicted that 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
It would have been impossible.
Oh, impossible, right? And we don't talk about things that are impossible here. We talk about things that are possible. All things that are possible. Well, Christian, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, pleasure's mine.
Looking forward to hanging out with you more in the city and getting a chance to take a look at some of these new developments that are coming up.
Come visit the museum.
We will, and we're going to encourage everybody to come visit the museum as well, especially since it's now accredited. I mean, you're going to see some changes there that are just going to be absolutely amazing. And by the way, the landscape job that you guys did on that is absolutely amazing.
Oh, we're just getting started.
With some of the top museums throughout the region. So really appreciate you taking the time with us, and we look forward to seeing you around Ontario and possibly actually having you back on